shocking find: Mounjaro dosing schedule and Zepbound dosing schedule. Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Freddie. I have lost a whopping 79 pounds with Mounjaro over the last year, and I'm on my race to lose 100 pounds with Mounjaro. And Mounjaro weight loss and Zepbound weight loss. If you're like, what's the difference between Mounjaro weight loss and Zepbound weight loss? They are the same things. Literally both made by FDA, by the FDA, they're not made by the FDA, both made by Eli Lilly. Both have the same starting dose, which is 2.5 milligrams, ending dose, which is 15 milligrams. The major component is that they have different FDA approvals. Same formularity, same everything. So when we're talking about Mounjaro weight loss, Zepbound weight loss, Mounjaro is approved, FDA approval for type 2 diabetics, not type 1, but type 2 diabetics. And Zepbound is approved for chronic obesity management or chronic weight management. Let's dive in. I am not a medical healthcare professional, nor do I pretend to play one on the internet. This is simply my experience, strength, and hope over the last year of what I've learned personally to hopefully help you. It's the sole excitement of this whole channel at Countess of Shopping, is to hopefully be a source of encouragement, positivity, and light to help you on your journey. So let's go ahead and dive in. Mr. Freddie is riveted by the content. I'm going to cover up his bits because he's not having modesty. Ignore my unmade bed. But I do have the duvets linked down in the description. Let's dive in to my shocking find, because one of you fabulous viewers asked me, Countess, what was your dosing schedule? And I was like, that's going to take me a hot second, because you guys know my tip number one is always track your doses. I have down below a ton of stuff. Free blog post on countessofshopping.com. That is my free resource and my gift to you if you're just starting your first week on Mounjaro, or just starting Zepbound 2.5 milligrams, or maybe you've been around the block for a hot second and so you're trying to figure things out. Use those free resources. Down below, I have a blog post in addition to this. So if you're like, I just want a Cliff Notes version in addition to you yip-yapping, totally check that out. So with that, I went back because a viewer said, what was your dosing schedule? I had to go back and look, and thank goodness I have 150 videos on my Mounjaro weight loss and Zepbound weight loss that I could reference. Make sure you click that subscribe and like button as well so you can see all of them, so YouTube can show you more of them. The dosing schedule. You start off at 2.5 milligrams on Mounjaro. You guys like my fancy graphic. Then you go to 5 milligrams, 7.5 milligrams, 10 milligrams, 12.5 milligrams, and 15 milligrams, which is where I am, which is the highest dose. I have always encouraged, and will always encourage, don't titrate up quickly. Has been my experience, strength, and hope. Obviously, talk with your own healthcare provider. I am not a healthcare provider. I wish I had slowed down. I wish I had pumped the brakes. If I could go back, and I've done a ton of videos on this, if I could go back to me a year ago, I'd say, hey boo, change up the time of day you're taking injections so you don't have to titrate up. Hey boo, change up the injection locations before you titrate up. There's 3 places to have injections, which are in your belly button, by your thigh, and the back of your arm. The back of your arm, Eli Lilly tells us, should be injected by somebody else. We've talked about that in great detail in other videos. But so in terms of the dosing schedule, this is what I did, and then I want to get to the shocking find of what I've discovered in my own journey with this. That's why you're going to want to stay till the end. So my thing that I had was, I did on month 1 and month 2, I believe. Hopefully I'm getting this right from looking at my notes here on YouTube, on Countess of Shopping YouTube, but month 1 and month 2 were 2.5 milligrams. Month 3 and 4 were 5 milligrams. Month 5 was 7.5 milligrams. I had not started with Join Fridays, my telehealth company that I work with now. So just to give some context on that, if you're looking for a telehealth company, link down below is my favorite. Use the code QUEEN. They'll give you an extra discount on there as well. I love working with them because they truly are passionate about caring about the GLP-1 community. And so with having the 5th month, I was only on it for 1 month for 7.5 milligrams. I talked to my healthcare provider. Food chatter was back. That was indicative of when do you titrate up on Zepbound? When do you titrate up on Mounjaro weight loss? At that time, with that healthcare provider, with a different telehealth company, because I've tested a couple, they said, if you're having food chatter, let's titrate up. If I could go back to me, back 7 months ago, I'd say, babes, change the location of your injection site and the time of day. I had at that point been injecting in the afternoons to avoid side effects. I now welcome side effects. This is somewhat of a new concept for some of you, particularly if you're new, because you've heard of these horrific, horrible, serious side effects that can come from Mounjaro and from Zepbound. They are true. There are some serious, gnarly things that can happen to some people on these injections. For me, thank God, I haven't had any of those yet. Knock on wood, the blood of Jesus over me. So just to be aware that there are some really serious complications that can happen. In terms of side effects that are minor side effects like gastrointestinal, the big four, big three: diarrhea, nausea, constipation, and vomiting. I haven't had the vomiting. I'm like, please let me have vomiting, but I'm not a vomiter really. Although last night I had my injection, and right after, and I don't know if this is a correlation or not, I immediately got very nauseous. Who knows if that I was having a cup of, the Count had made me some decaf coffee at 8 o'clock at night. I don't know if it was because of the time of day or what, but I welcome that because I'm not going to eat as much if my tummy is not feeling great. So going back over, let's talk about the dosing schedule. So I had for mine, again, my experience, strength, and hope. You take what you want and leave the rest. If some of this is not helpful, hopefully some of it will be helpful for you to talk to your doctor. The Amazon delivery truck is literally backing in my driveway. Yeah, he's gonna freak out. And so we're just gonna, he's backing up. Wow, he is backing. You know why? I had just got all this makeup. I'll link it down below. Oh my goodness. Okay. I made a major error by doing the 5th month 7.5 milligrams, the 6th month 10 milligrams. So I was on those 2 doses for a month and a month. That was dumb of me to push for that. I wish I could go back and be like, hey, you should maybe, if I was going back to a dosing schedule, to talk to my healthcare provider, because we are all different. We all have different reactions to this medication. But if I went back to my healthcare provider, I wish I could go back and be like, hey, maybe stay on that 5 milligrams for, I don't know, 5 or 6, 7 months by changing the time of day to have my injections in the morning, which is what I've switched to. However, the shocking fun that I'm going to talk about, we're going to talk about that here in a minute, of what I did last night and what has been actually kind of fascinating that I want to share with you guys. But staying on the dose, there is a way that you can change your injection site with these. We know, and I'm going to get out my little diagram here. We're going to nerd out for a minute. Let's nerd out together. We have 3 places we can have those injections: our belly button, our upper thigh, and it's on the purple diagram that Eli Lilly gives us, and on the back of our arm. Why not rotate through these? Why are we not doing that? Like, why is that not talked about more? And then with those rotations, so say here's your thigh, we're gonna do a little leg. Here's a person, here's a beautiful lady. On your leg, this is your body. Here's your belly button. Here's your little pants waist. It tells us in the Eli Lilly diagram right in here, that's where the injection is, in the purple diagram. Refer to that, don't refer to my diagram. Refer to the one that the manufacturer gives us from Eli Lilly. When we have our injection, one of our awesome viewers told me this, and I was like, you are so smart. I had a video, if you go down to the playlist, you'll see about the different injection sites from Mounjaro. So within this component, I'm gonna just bring it down here, having your different injection of, maybe you inject 1 week up here, and then you rotate all the places. So then when you come back to it in the 4th week, instead of doing it up here, maybe you do it down here. And then you go through again for the 4th week, and then you do the next one here, and you go through on the 4th week and you do it here. Why are we not doing these 4 points? One of our viewers had said, and I thought she was so smart, so if this is you, you're so smart, high five, pat on the back, of doing it on the, like the upper part, then doing it in the middle, and then just kind of like really, and my encouragement to you is tracking this of where each week, and I have a free tracker for you if you're looking for one, tracking it each week of where are you putting these, what is your mood, what is the dose, so you don't have to be like me and look through YouTube videos and be like, I'm kind of sure that's right, but it kind of might not be right. Having really accurate records, having the side effects that you had with these, like, let's make that the norm, right? Like, if I could go back to myself 7 months ago, when I was on Mounjaro, now it's 8 months, no, 9 months, somewhere in there. I'm not the best with dates, to be honest. That month of when I tried to from 5 milligrams to 7.5 milligrams, I wish I could say to myself, why don't you change your injections? He agrees. Do you mind? We're right in the middle of a video. Give apples to apples within this. There was a shortage going on. There still is a Mounjaro shortage going on. not a Zepbound shortage, Mounjaro shortage. So there's still a shortage going on to give apples to apples with this. So I do need to make sure that I say that was part of this. I couldn't, going back here, I believe that is why I had to titrate up, is because I couldn't find it. I'm like, there's nowhere to be found. I've called for Mounjaro shortage. I've called a 30-mile radius with every single pharmacy near me. I cannot get it. I have tried. I've found out when the back orders were coming in. Very excited to be over here. Are you coming back over and saying hello? Okay, so let's go back over. If I could go back, like I said, I couldn't because of the shortage. That was beyond my control. Things I can change, things I cannot. Some things I just cannot. And talking with your healthcare provider, being able to have these honest conversations with them. If I could go back to myself, I would say, bam, let me stay on 2.5 milligrams for 5 months. Bam, maybe 5 milligrams for 5 months. That's 10 months right there. The problem that I had, that I erroneously thought, and this is shocking information, I'm gonna kind of just riff for a minute, is twofold. One is, I thought by titrating up this way, I could drop more weight, help my A1C, like that it just would be better. Turns out, truth be told, because Eli Lilly tells us that we have to make permanent lifestyle changes with our eating and with physical activity. No, how am I gonna do these and make permanent lifestyle changes? And so trying to shortcuts, there really are no shortcuts with Mounjaro. There really aren't. And so if I could go back to my past self and say, hey, it does have, the food chatter does come back, but work through that food chatter. I wish I had said that. And I think I did I have to also say, I did the very best I could at the information that I had at the time that I had it, right? Like, I got to give some grace there, but I wish I had stayed on it longer because I had to learn, okay, I'm not eating my protein. If I'm snacking at nighttime, that's really old behaviors. That is because I have not had enough protein at nighttime. If you guys saw my previous video to this, make sure you click like and subscribe so you can see all my videos. But the last one before this, I was like basically crying, like I had a horrible week. I gained 2 pounds. And it was night snacking, which is an old habit for me. I've really worked hard with outside help to heal my relationship with food, hardcore. And so going back over, there's so much within my control with this dosing schedule with food, eating protein. For me, my GLP-1 dietitian said 100 to 120 grams of protein. Maybe that's not your jam. Maybe you want to get the new Weight Watchers GLP-1 app. I'll link a discount code down below. That's super helpful for me in terms of tracking because then I can see it. The black and white, the data doesn't lie. My emotions maybe not, they may be lying on my emotions because we switch through emotions. I think there was a study done like every 60 seconds or something crazy like that, but I digress. We may have emotions associated with food, but the data doesn't lie with that. Okay, I ate 50 grams of protein today and I'm supposed to have 120. And it's not because of the appetite suppression. My appetite suppression for me usually ends on day 5, 6, and 7. So it's not the appetite suppression, it's I chose not to eat protein. I chose to eat more snacky things. Snacky things aren't cutting it. That for me on this GLP-1 weight loss journey with Mounjaro and Zepbound, for me this truly was life or death of starting this medication. I knew it in the bowels of my soul. From my toes to my bows, it was a life or death situation. And so not having protein when I know I'm supposed to and making other choices, what else is going on with that? And making those, like, this is to me a gift of a lifetime. My grandmother did not have this. My grandmother suffered with obesity. Amazing, incredible woman. She died as a result of obesity shizzle. She didn't have this choice. I get to have this choice now. And so making this choice and being super clear of like each day being with intention, love, grace, kindness, and compassion to maximize each dose. Because, and we know this, the shocking part, the punchline, you're gonna get to 15 milligrams like I am. And there's no more to me to titrate up to. This is the end of the line. There's nowhere else to go. Like knock, knock, I'm here. I've reached the end destination on my tour. I've got to utilize these tools. Do I still have appetite suppression? Yes, I do. It is, by the time I'm filming this, I don't know, like 2 or 3 o'clock, I am not hungry. I haven't eaten yet today. I will, and when I do, I'm gonna have really clean protein for me, particularly after a shot day. I cannot have fatty proteins anymore. I have to have leaner cuts, meaning like chicken or turkey or fish or seafood or crab or like seafood type things, lean beef. But if I have like a greasy like cheeseburger or a greasy steak, my stomach's like, then I will get those side effects. that will, for me, that agitates the side effects. So the shocking piece for you in terms of Mounjaro dosing schedule and Zepbound dosing schedule is the time of day for me, alternating that. This is the piece that you guys have waited for. So if you've made it this long, you get a round of applause, is I have been taking my shot in the morning to intentionally cause side effects. Last night I was like, I'm gonna take my shot at nighttime. And let's see what happens. I woke up this morning, I am super full. It's 2 or 3 o'clock by the time I'm filming this. Things are going great. That to me and this is where I wanted to riff from, is changing the time of day. If I had been doing mornings that I had been doing before, that 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon to prevent side effects. And then I had switched to nighttime, and then I switched to mornings, and I've done mornings for quite some time because I intentionally wanted to cause the side effects. When I started to feel the side effects, it was in the afternoon or evening for me when I took it in the morning. So I took it last night, and now I'm, well, how many hours is that? 16, 17 hours on my Mounjaro 15 milligrams. And deliciously, I'm full. I'm not having gross gastrointestinal side effects yet. But alternating that time of day, I think what I'm going to do is do nighttime, morning, afternoon. You know how I was talking about rotating my injection sites? And I could be way off on this, right? Like, this is simply but my experience, strength, and hope. But how I was talking about rotating the injection sites on the particular place of your arm, your belly button, or your thigh, and then rotating it on that particular area. Why am I not rotating my time of day? Mic drop. Mic drop. So I'm varying the variables. So that to me is something new, and I wanted to share that with you guys. I feel like I learned something new or different. This may have nothing to do with data, and it may just be like a psychological placebo effect of changing, but I'm going to roll with it. She is going to roll with it because I'm getting past the 80-pound weight loss on my 100-pound weight loss journey. I'm getting there. I'm going to get there. Changing the injection site, which we've already talked about, and then doing the outer and inner parts. So going back over to that wise viewer had said, with the rotation within this of doing like the center and then the exterior and then changing those up, I thought that was really smart. And of course, obviously too, and we've talked about this, and I talk about it more on my blog posts on countessofshopping.com and in my free encouragement group, my Mounjaro free encouragement group as well, about changing the injection site, of making sure you're doing left and right sides too. Don't just stay all on your left side or your right side as well. So you have these different variables, so you really don't stay stuck or stagnant with that. Does that dramatically change it? I don't know. That is why keeping good records though, and tracking attract number grows, tracking your data, which my free blog post down below will help you do that with the free printable. Track that boom, and see what the tracking hopefully will help you with pattern recognition. One of my giftings, I don't have very many, but one of my giftings is pattern recognition and being able to discern those pattern recognitions of like, okay, let's try this. Which is why I had on the back of my arm the best weight loss. And then until recently, I think I just overdid it for a while. And so I'm gonna pause for a hot second. That's why last night I did the far side of my thigh. So it was on my right leg, and then the far side, like on the outside of my body. I did it on that. I hadn't done that. Usually I do the inside because it's really fatty there. In between my two sweet little legs, there's a little jiggle there, a little junk in the trunk. And so I did it on the outer side. And I wanna see. We're gonna track and see. Also part of this too that I think is really important part of the conversation is hormones for the ladies, which by the way, if you didn't see on the warning labels, making sure if you take oral birth control that if you're titrating up to 4 weeks after that, you need to use a different form of birth control. Lots of Mounjaro babies and Zepbound babies if you're not. Changing all of these methods basically of prolonging the titration. You guys know that that has been my regret. But if you did 5 months, and the dosing schedule of 7.5 milligrams, that would make 15 months. But getting to the 10 milligrams of Mounjaro or Zepbound would be 20 months, slowing it down from titrating up. We know with the medical data though, that at above 10 milligrams or 12.5 milligrams, there's data, scientific data showing that there's substantial benefits to that, but there's nowhere else to go after that. Like that's what this train has ended. Like I am here. And I guess I could push my shots further. I haven't talked to my healthcare provider about that. And I don't know the data about doing it every 5 to 6 days. But Eli Lilly, I feel like would have made that part of my instructions. They would have told us to do that. right? Like they would have told us. And so it makes me a wee bit concerned to alter it like that. So I'll have that conversation when I need to. Right now, me having the weight stall isn't Mounjaro. It's me fighting against myself. And the medication, by the way, some people, we've talked about this too, is it doesn't stop working. It doesn't stop working, which one of our awesome viewers told me to like research into more of this. It doesn't stop working. It's my body's fighting against it. So if you feel like it stopped working, it's just your body's fighting against it, and you gotta keep doing the protein and working out and things like that. Have I gotten my 3-mile walk-in with Mr. Freddy today? No. Am I going to right after this video? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Because he's gonna kick my booty if not. Last night he was so like lunatic-y because I just played ball with him with the Chuck It ball, which I'm obsessed with. I'll link that down below. But I didn't walk him. I just played outside with him and he was mad. Anyways, look at this guy. He's dreaming about his walk. He's like California dreaming about my just a winner's day. So this is my shocking information. With this, I want to make sure too, by the way, you do you. So many of us are so different. Some of you guys have the most amazing experiences with doing your injection near your belly button. I don't have that. That's not really my story. I did the injection near my stomach at the beginning of Mounjaro back in the day at 2.5 milligrams and 5 milligrams. And then after that, it kind of just, it was like a fizzling like firecracker. It just, my stomach stopped being as effective. I would have more appetite suppression with the back of my arm, where some of you guys are like, it's horrible at the back of my arm. My stomach's the best. So like, this is where the medication is different for all of us. And while having an amazing healthcare provider like Join Fridays, which I absolutely love them, link down below, why that's really important, so you can have that relationship to talk with them. You have video chat with them too, which I love. And it's awesome. They do have, by the way, they prescribe brand names and also compounds too, as of right now. So, because Zepbound, no, Mounjaro is on the FDA shortage list. So I hope this helps. We have a little thing here at Countess Shopping of where if you've made it this far, you put an emoji down in the chat, and today's emoji is going to be a shoe. Whatever, I love seeing whatever emojis you guys pick. You guys crack me up. Twofold. One, it helps me to get to know you better. Going back to that pattern recognition, I will recognize your name. The more that you comment, the more that you binge watch my videos, the more I will get to know you. And two, off of that, my most important thing is I will pray over you, or if you don't believe in prayer, I will uplift you in positive thoughts. By putting that, it's our bat signal, like Batman. So today's one is a shoe. If you guys saw speaking of shoes, if you guys saw my walking shoe video, here's my walking shoes, the best walking shoes. Those are on a video link down below too in my playlist. If you're needing some new walking shoes, they're fabulous slip-ons, particularly if you do walk your dog. The other thing is, if you've not joined my free Mounjaro weight loss encouragement group, make sure you do that, but you do need to answer all of the questions. Two things. One, if you don't answer the questions, you're not getting in. Over 1,300 people are on the wait list because they just don't answer the questions. You're not getting in unless you answer the questions. Two, if you have a profile that is less than 5 years old, that is a flag that you could be a spammer. So just email me. My email is in the description link below. Email me. I will let you in the club. I want all to be there. There's thousands and thousands of us. It's the most encouraging group, very safe space. I intentionally keep it safe space. Had to kick a couple people out yesterday because I don't allow spammers. It's only good, amazing encouragement in that group too. So, and then there was a number 3. We talked about the free group. Oh, my free Mounjaro weight loss success checklist. Check that out. If you're just starting and you're like, I don't know what to do with these gastrointestinal side effects you just talked about, don't worry, I got you covered. What do you do if you have constipation? What do you do if you have nausea? I had bought everything, the remedies for those, just to have. And I didn't have nausea for the first 12 plus months. And then when I switched over to Mounjaro 15 milligrams, I started to have nausea. So, and I had recommended ginger chews and I don't anymore because of the sugar. I actually make my own ginger water, like fresh ginger with water. It's amazing. And then with my element electrolytes. If you're not taking element electrolytes, check into that. They're amazing. We have potassium, magnesium, sodium. It's not table salt. People freak out about sodium. We actually need sodium. Not table salt is stripped of stuff. The sodium component of it, for me, it makes a big difference on my side effects, but also my overall like wellness with Mounjaro, particularly since I'm moving more. Do you have anything else to say? Do you have anything else to say? You're a good boy? A good boy? Oh! He had been howling earlier. The fire truck came by and was going, oh! ooh, and he owed back at them. Are you going to? Oh! He's like ready to pounce. I think I'm going to stop doing that. What else? Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because love is delicious. We love y'all. See you later.